Hello everyone, this is me, Dusty Circuit here. Hello everyone, this is me, Dusty Circuit here to bring you I guess another series of videos touring my build, like my stuff, like my base and a few of my other areas I have on Midgard. I've done these videos before, but it's been a few years since the last, big series of videos that I did. And it's also, well, at least nearly a month ago was Skade's anniversary. And it was Skade's 5th anniversary, which is crazy to think that the entire community of skate gaming is now about 5 years old. And I think as of around October or November of this year, my underwater base is going to be 8 years old, which is even crazier to think about. But, well, since we're starting off in my portal room, and it looks, well, the more observant of you probably realize it looks quite a bit different. Well, and that is because a couple days ago, I decided to add more portals because I'm planning a new storage room project that's going to use some more portals. So I decided to just add more portal spaces to my portal room. And the history of this portal room is that when I first built it, the ceiling that's up there was originally about at this level. And the entire space above that was unused, I originally planned to use for a storage system, but then the farm team wouldn't allow it. And the farm team didn't allow it because there's more, like with these portal rooms, there's a lot more. There's a lot more that the farm team has to consider apart from just will it lag the server or not. It's also they have to consider will it lag other players, because on my map here, this is basically all the portals in the Nether hub go to all these different portal these are all the player portal rooms, and every portal in the hub goes to each of these boxes. And well, every player on Midgard gets a portal room box that they can do whatever they want with. And mine's here. It's kind of off to the right side, but it's still surrounded by 9 other portal rooms. And I think both the farm team and the Valkyries actually have a say in what things a player can have in their portal room because of the proximity to other portal rooms. And we all have to consider what impacts my portal room could have on the neighboring portal rooms, because not everybody is going to have as beefy of a computer as I do, and those players might be more affected by lag from things such as redstone, entities, etc. But fortunately for me, my portal room, the redstone floor was approved, and this these chests, like this storage system, which is really just chests with redstone lamps indicating which chests have items in them. Fortunately for me, that and the floor got approved. And, really since that, I haven't really had any plans to add more redstone to my portal room. Because really, the main reason I wanted this is, well, just to make my portal room stand out from others, and just to... Because I also would like my portal room to, like, kind of, represent my personality as a Minecraft player, and it does that pretty well. The other thing I did was... the other thing I did was I replaced the scaffolding ladders that I had here, I think originally on either sides of these chests, with a minecart elevator. Which if you're not familiar with minecart elevators, they're basically where you have a minecart sitting on top of a ladder, and then blocks surrounding it to prevent it from being moved. And then you stand underneath the minecart, look up at the minecart, and then right-click to go in the minecart. And then you can right-click to go in the minecart that's above. And I can get to the top of my portal room just in 4 clicks. And that's about as fast as it goes if you hold down right-click, but it actually goes faster if you mash right-click. And just have a drop down to a hay bale to get down. Which I also used without feather falling boots, and it actually still works pretty well. You actually do not take fall damage, even though it makes the sound that you've fallen too high. I guess let's go move on to the main base. And as I said, a bit later this year is going to mark the 8th anniversary of my underwater base, which is pretty crazy to think about, considering... Like, I consider this, even for me, like, in the way that I play this game, to be pretty impressive. Because, on the old server, I've been through, like, especially on the old Little Kid server, I've been through, in the span of, like, 3 years of playing on that server, I've been through 7 different bases. And mostly the reason I leave a base is because of factors that were outside of my control. One base I left because there were other players surrounding me, and it's like I couldn't expand to other areas, and then other reasons where I wanted to do something different, which I guess was necessary for me to move to a different base to do. But most commonly it was because of lag, redstone lag, and I didn't plan ahead. I didn't account for having too much redstone in an area and the server not being able to handle that. But also that particular server was just really poorly ran and just lagged really easily. So it's like even if I was trying to be less impactful with my redstone, the server would still lag, which didn't help my case. But when I built this base on the Big Kid server before we moved over to Midgard, I've learned my lessons, though. Oh, at first I built I had the entrance portal room, the main hub, and this room here, which I originally planned this area like that to be my storage room. Like I planned to have an auto sorter in here, but unfortunately it proved to be too big for that server to handle, so I had to just tear it out and replace it with a smaller one. But then I wanted to build an auto smelter and like one of those bone meal powered like nano farms that also has its own storage system, and also like a mini concrete maker, all in that one space, which ended up with me having over 1,000 hoppers in one area, and I had to do something about that before it became a problem. So I decided to build this room, which I have my auto sorter in right now. And this room, which I have my auto smelter in, and the concrete maker and nano farm remain in this room. And I guess also speaking of my base history, I've starting 2 years ago, I actually started writing a series of I guess I could call it mini novels about my base history that I've been submitting to the SCADE writing competition that the Spawn team hosts. And so far I'm up to my 5th entry of that. And I predict that by either entry 6 or entry 7, I should actually be finally up to the present day in terms of the events that have been happening with my base. And also to serve as an outline for me to tell me what to write, and also as a fun way to visualize my base history. I've been making a timeline in Microsoft Paint, well, just showing all the the major periods of the history of my base, going back to the old server up until like through the transition period between the old server and this server, and then through Skade Gaming's history up until current events. And pretty soon I'm actually going to be finished with that series. And oh, no, the reason I'm documenting this is because this base has kind of become a bit special to me, like because it's like I've been with it for so long that it's like, oh, it's as if me and this base have become friends, and we've both been through a lot of really stressful times, as well as really happy and positive times as well. And we've been through a lot, and I think it's really cool that this base is still here, almost to kind of tell its history. And also, like, kind of how Ethos Lab has their single player survival let's play in their world that they've been making those videos in. That's like has to be over 10 years old, or maybe even close to 15 years old at this point. And they're still making videos in it to this day, and still playing in it to this day. And this is almost like I kind of have my own version of that going on with this base, and it's kind of become special to me for that reason. So kind of, at least I have kind of some Minecraft history like that, which is pretty cool. And well, the very first part of the base that I built was actually the Guardian Farm, which is over here. Mostly because back in the server which I started building the space in, the server was really in kind of a state of neglect, shall we say, and like, and it was just not like really, but like there were like pretty much everything, like all the like major like public areas of the server were kind of not really looked after very well, and the server had community farms, but not a lot of them were really like complete or even like user friendly. So at that time, I ended up building a lot of my own farms, just kind of mostly out of necessity. And this Guardian Farm was actually the very first of, I think it was one of my very first farms I ended up building. And at the time, it actually served the purpose of providing me with a stable It's providing me both with a stable food source, like in the form of cooked fish or cooked cod, as it's called now, and uh, also with a source of building materials for my base. Yeah, as well, like all this like the prismarine and the sea lanterns kind of really go into like the underwater theme. And it's kind of what I've been using for the block palette of my base. And then the next portion that I ended up, and the next part of this base that I ended up building was, of course, the main lobby, which, I'd have to say, out of all the areas of my base, this one took me the longest to build. But also I've, the reason for that is, well, one, I mean, look at how big this area is that I would have had to drain out of water, but the other reason for that is I ended up switching, I think I started building this with one method of construction, and then switched to another method of construction, and I think I maybe used, probably 3 or 4 different construction methods to make this room. And, well, the reason why, I think this took me nearly probably 2 or 3 months to complete, and I think the reason for that was I had to drain out this whole area of water, and I don't think I actually spent all those 3 months actually working on this. I think I did it like in spurts, where I maybe built some of it, took a break, built some of it, took a break. And, so I would have had to use sponges to drain out this entire area. And at first I kind of drained the topmost part of it, and then I ended up draining a slice down the middle of it, which kind of like bisects it along this line, and then I went down this direction, draining out this half, and then up this direction, draining that half. And what I ended up doing was building a bunch of I'd build like a wall going from here, like this side to that side, kind of serving as like a dam to hold back the water. And then I drain out the water. Well, I ended up building 2 dams side by side, and then drain out the water in between the two. And then I'd build another dam to the side of the one that was here, and then do more draining. And then I tear down the first dam that I made, and then move that in front of the second dam, and then I just wash, rinse, repeat that process until I have the area fully drained out. And I think I might have also divided the task vertically as well. I think I drained like the upper half of the dome first, and then the lower half second. And but after that long and arduous process was finished, I then built the interior of this, and so would have gone through quite a few changes. I think originally this pool of water was smaller, and there wasn't an aquarium in it. So it was just like just kind of a shallow pool of water with not much insight in it at all. And I think this floor used to actually be carpet with, I think it just used to be carpet. And then I ran into some weird, like, lighting related glitch where a few specific chunks were refusing to be lit up for some reason. And so I ended up, like, switching the carpet to half slabs. Like, I think I went to prismarine half slabs. And then I think after a while, I think I changed the floor back to carpet, and then after a while, I changed the floor to this design. Also, I could have like but I think because I wanted to have the soul soil under the floor, so I get the soul speed effect. Like, so that could also augment the speed too, so I would combine to give me a decent speed boost walking through my base. And the central feature of my lobby was actually inspired by a build that was at the spawn of the old server. And I kind of used that as inspiration for the central part of my lobby. Which is just like the 4 columns, like kind of as if they're supporting the roof, and this entire section I filled in with water, and then in every like 4 sides I have like these waterfalls that come down, and then the water splits up as it goes over these arches and then goes down into the water below. And that in the aquarium, I've wanted to make ever since I first envisioned this base, but I didn't end up building it until a bit after the transition to this server, because that old server was just really unstable, really laggy, like, and it lagged really easily. And large, like, aquariums with a lot of fish placed in them have caused lag issues on that server before. So I was just hesitant to build an aquarium in my own base and take that chance or run that risk. So I was just largely put off of building this aquarium until we moved to this server. And then when I built this aquarium, I opted to only like keep the amount of fish that I put in it to a minimum. I think in the entire aquarium I only put around 30 fish in it. I mean, which is kind of a lot, but spread across this big of an area, it's not like if I'm swimming through here, I'll immediately bump into a fish. It's a pufferfish. Wait. Whoa, I don't know. How long was this shulker here? Wow. Must have left that there when I built this. I don't know, maybe I'll leave it there. Oh, and this turtle has a bit of a story behind it. And so, when I was building this lobby, of course, there were like dolphins and turtles swimming in the water inside where I was building this. And pretty much all of them escaped, pretty much. Oh, I don't know why I said that twice, but all of them escaped except for this turtle. Like he ended up being trapped inside the dome. And I consulted the Discord server for what. Oh, I decided to keep this turtle as a pet because it didn't leave, and I consulted the Discord for what I should name them, and I think Telly asked him to come up with the name Slow Circuit, and nobody else came up with a different name, so I ended up going with that. And yeah, there they are, but they just they don't really seem to do any swimming. They just kind of chill on the beach, and they've been there for who knows how long. I think at one point I put a dolphin in here, but I don't know what happened. I guess it jumped out or managed to get out, and it suffocated and died. And I guess it's because dolphins can. I guess think they can jump pretty high up out of the water. So I guess I mean the water is pretty low down, but I guess it's still possible for a dolphin to jump out, or maybe it can jump onto the beach there. And I guess get stuck out of the water. And I guess while we're in this area, I'll talk about this part of my base. Which I kind of came up with the idea. I came up with the idea to build this lower level that mostly serves as just, like, it doesn't serve any other purpose other than to just provide I guess, a viewing gallery for the aquarium, so you can also see it from the side. And right now, it only has the tunnel to my diamond counter, and this switches like the interface for a contraption that I have that changes the color of the beacon and the lobby, where you can like think it has a few different like preset patterns programmed into it that you can select from, but I actually rarely use this, funnily enough. But oh, I guess I never filled in that strip. But oh, and also below this room, I actually started building a cave. I think because I think I saw that Etho had this idea of I think expanding their man cave base down into like where their world, because they updated to the bountiful up, or because they updated to the caves and cliffs updates in their Let's Play world. They now have all the underground terrain generation that's below the former bedrock level, and they actually found a cave that's under their main base, and uh they have a project where they plan to like expand their base into the cave net systems and into the new caves. And I guess I had a similar idea for my base, but I didn't actually have a cave that was under my lobby, so I ended up creating one. So originally I did with TNT, but then I think I smoothed it out and hollowed it out a bit more just by hand. But I don't know if I'm ever gonna finish this project because I despise terraforming. And well, in hindsight, I don't know why I thought it could have been a good idea to do a project of doing an aspect of Minecraft that I don't enjoy, but I don't know, maybe sometime in the future I'll finally finish this cave, or maybe I won't. But I guess only time will tell. And underneath this, if I can get to it, is the redstone for my beacon selector. Or this is the bottom half of it. And it's actually a pretty cool system, like where basically it's kind of like a piston tape that I kind of made to make most effective use of the space that I have, and where it kind of like it bends around on a diagonal and then goes through here, then loops back around and goes through the beacon again. And I had to come up with all the redstone to make that work. But also a system for it to stop at the pattern you've selected, which is basically all these composters, which basically like encode like, I guess, like when this is moving, all these are also moving as well, and they move past a circuit which I think it's that circuit there, which compares what value goes by there with the value you've selected, and then whenever they match, it sends a signal to stop the redstone clock that's moving the piston tape. And because the composters can only go from, they only have a range that goes from like a single strength of 1 to 6 or something. I hate slimes. Like, I used to have to kill slime so often in my base that I didn't actually need to make a slime farm, because my base kind of was a slime farm. Just kind of crazy. But, well, because of the way that the composters can only have, a signal up to, like, I think 6, and the interface, like, for the selection can go up to, like, it can go up to 9. I had to come up with this whole circuit, which is basically just to convert, from the base 10 number system to base, like, 6, where, like, 6 is, like, the highest single-digit number, which is, needed for that system to, work. So, really all the red circuit does is it's converting from, base 10 to base 6, which is being fed to the purple circuit over there. And down here, I just added, like, another means of controlling the feed tape, which I guess, like, if I want to add more patterns, I can just go down here and then move it to the next, advance it to the next pattern or the next space, and then add another pattern into it. If I wanted to do that, that's down here. Oh, and inside one of the columns that I put in the cave, actually I put the redstone wiring going up from that room to this room, and this is all the signal that, like, selects what the pattern. It goes from here all the way down to there. And just in this room is where I guess the user interface is, with the 7-segment display and the button panel, and also that gray circuit is like a kind of a memory cell that holds each of the numbers that you've entered in. And I guess while we're down here, so I can show you the diamond counter, which I have done yet another upgrade to. And mostly, what I've done is I've added this bar graph display on top, which is mostly just a rough approximation of how full the diamond counter is. But in order to make that work, I had to add a ton of that extra redstone that you see up there. But then I decided that I wanted to change the design to like these adders. I decided to change to a different design because I wanted to make the change from 4 chests that hold the diamonds to 8 chests. I guess to increase both the capacity of it and the resolution of it. and then I changed the multiplier circuit yet again because that previous one only has I can 8-bit inputs, but this one but this one I wanted to be able to accept higher numbers because I really wanted to make this future proof, like so how it's configured right now. It's basically the diamonds are in this form where they're in blocks in the chests. And I think the maximum number that this can go up to is around like 240,000 or something around there. Which is a lot, but I figured maybe at some point in the future I might end up getting more than that, and well, but then I saw how many diamonds Rin Elf has, and they literally spend like hours and hours of just doing like mining. I guess because it gives them something to do. And they've been posting like how many diamonds they've got from their mining, and they think at this point they have like probably double or triple the amount of diamonds that I have. So I guess that makes me want to best them. And I guess how better of a way to best them using my diamond counter. And, well... but then I decided, to add the provision for this thing to go up even like as high as like 6 million items or 6 million diamonds. And how I'm making that possible is how I have that row of levers where I'm setting a constant value into the multiplier. Basically, like I can change that value to change actually what number it'll send to the display. And that K symbol I can change to an M by changing what combination of levers are flipped. And also there's levers behind those 3 decimal points, and I can turn that one off and turn those 2 on. And the reason why all that redstone is about is I wanted the bar graph to be basically the result of the addition of the contents of the chests before they go into the multiplier, divided by 4. And now there could have been other ways I could have accomplished that, but the simplest way, at least that I came up with, is to use what's called a lookup table. Which is basically like all these barrels like hold like a different increasing values, and all the redstone is basically addresses a different set of barrels depending on what redstone signal's going into it. And I've programmed this as such that the output goes up 1 every time the input goes up 4. So it's like the barrels go like 0, 0, 0, 0 like 4 times, and then 1 4 times, and then 2 4 times, and then so on and so forth. And then the output of that result goes into the bar graph. And I have this actually divided into 2 parts, where the bottom one drives the right half, and the upper one drives the left half. And because at that point in the sequence, actually fewer entries are needed for the second half, so I actually made the second circuit slightly smaller than the first one. And then the rest of that is just busing the signals down from where they come out of the green circuit into this circuit, and then some redstone logic to, like, when the value goes above 15, it'll just hold the bottom, it'll just inject a signal of 15 into that bottom lookup table, and then redirect the redstone to the top lookup table. And well, because this redstone, I needed more space to accommodate this redstone being placed above the displays, I had to clear out this space here. To make room for it. And I guess I'll make a separate video, actually, I guess, delving more into this circuit, like into this build in detail, and also going through a bit of the history of like what the different design iterations I went through in order to get to the final product. But this video is getting long, so I guess I'll end this video here, and then the next one will continue with the tour. But oh, and before I end, well, that's how many diamonds are in this. But this is me, Dusty Circuit here. And thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw, remember, leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to see my next videos, just hit the bell for notifications. Peace out. Bye.